Hello, everybody. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So, as you can see, recently we had an interesting game called the Indiana Jones, and it's not the something that I found very usual. I would like to, I would like to say something about the cons. Well, firstly, the cons. It's a few bugs and glitches. Checkpoint system can become irritating. And that's pretty much it. That's everything that I know from this game because so far I think this is one of the best games I played since I just don't understand why they didn't market this game very well. Like the PR company was like not that good. But anyways, the title counts as far, but the most disappointing facet of this previously awaited Indiana Jones installment compared to evocative nomenclature of the film series Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, even Dial of Destiny, the Great Circle fails to stir the senses of Conway, the riches that lie without this rollicking adventure. The besument is soon dispelled, but not before a rather pedestrian prologue that recreates shot for opening sequence to riders in which Lady Lol, the Indiana and his helpers plunder a temple. The Great Circle that takes the tour to Indy, Connecticut University before the camping fascist run in Rome 1937, then in truly ignite the fuse of intense immersive sim that takes cues from Dishonor and even a little bit of the Da Vinci Code. Maybe the storyline leans a little heavily into the usual MacGuffins in the Indy series, but it brings life something hugely entertainment and Betty and goodies here and there. You're let loose in a fantastically detailed facsimile of the Vatican and sent undercover as a priest to ferret on dressily Nazi scheme to steal precious artifacts from ornate office to dark catacombs. It looks spectacular. The Indiana movies inspired many successful game franchises such as Tomb Raider and Uncharted, but never produced a worthy one of its own name. To great credit to develop machine gamers, the Great Circle avoids a slavish rerun of these Lara Croft and Nathan Drake tendencies and instead plots of its own formula entered firmly with the quietly heroic figure Dr. Henry Jones, portable by Harrison Ford. Ford plays the part here, and indie voice is acting handled in uncanny style, but video gamer superstar Troy Baker, The Last of Us fame among many other credits, coupled with remarkably faithful facial teeth that depicts Ford in his youthful 1980s heyday, it almost feels we've been cheated that Machine Games decided on the first-person perspective for the most of the game, save for cutscenes and occasionally transitioning shots. Well, about the gameplay, the action feels beat for beat. This is the best of the original films have to offer, but Indiana Jones and the Great Circle isn't afraid to show down and let the player breathe for the beat throughout the puzzles and exploration that feel suited to a world of ancient mystery and conspiracy. A few bugs aside, as I mentioned in the beginning, there's an adventure worth talking and respects its source material, but still leaves room for plenty of surprises along the way. Players step into the shoes of the famous archaeologist himself in 1937 games as the sad months before events of the Last Crusade, as drawn into the conspiracy that spawns the entire world. To solve the mystery of the Great Circle, player need to pursue a number of objects in places like Vatican, Egypt, and Himalayas, and more. So yeah, well, as I mentioned before, while Indiana Jones, it is basically a first-person game, much like Machine Gamers' Wolfenstein games. There's a fair few differences when stepping off of Blazkowicz's shoes into Indiana's, and interpret archaeologist can throw a mean punch, and it's a handy with his whip and revolver, but he's not a one-man army. If the combat does breaks out, then there's a serviceable melee system allowing you to dodge and trade, jab, and knock out your foes, While even trusty whip can be used to pull opponents towards off the ledges. You are at disadvantage if your enemies have ranged weapons throughout, so it's important to score the environment for anything useful. Practically everything can be used as an impromptu weapon, and then I found myself pulsar raising faces with the shovels, clubs, sledgehammers, and loaves of bread. You also got your revolver, which can be used to decisively end an one fight. But there's noise can draw into the other near the enemies, and if you are very that careful. You can also pick up the weapons like rifles, shotguns, but you have to discard them when you run out of ammo. When you're not fighting, you're exploring, and it's here that Indiana Jones is the really truly shines. The open world segments, the open segments, one place to another can be itself. Uh, it's super satisfying to go exploring, realizing there's a way to climb up into the building with your whip and then unlock the front door for the future usage. In all way that brings immersive sims like Dishonored to mind. Simply put there in enormous amount of puzzles, requiring clever usage of pipes, solving chippers, and paying attention to discarded documents. You are aided in your explanation and puzzle solving by your camera, which gives you numerous opportunities to take pictures in exchange for adventure points. These points can be used to unlock new skills from any books you found, so it is important to embrace your inner shutterbug. Yeah, so about visuals and audio, I should say that Machine Games in a long time collaborated in ID Tech, where Sister ID software and the technological power of it is put to work together here. I played Indiana Jones on Xbox Series X and it looks great. Lush and frigid environments alike and rendered in sharp detail from the jungles of Sukhothai to the darkest tunnels under the Vatican. I did notice a bit of foliage pop in the particularly large area, but that blade aside and consistency impressive presentation. Indiana Jones is the series that all about exploration, and it's fitting that there's wide variety of locations to explore in equally detail. This in-game lighting is especially immersive with the beautiful rays that particularly sizzle with the heat of Jeep landscapes. The game that plays out a consistent 60 FPS, and I only noticed the brief drop when I accidentally set off an exploding trap of a point and blanking range. All this is made more impressive thanks to the camera framing, which is practically shot like one of the films, and right down to the timing of physical comedy and the way a shot will linger as it becomes clearly Indy is mental connection regarding some hidden clues. So Indiana Jones faces down many cult Nazis and ancient peasants. Like in the hunt for the great, Circle, the latest game from the Wolfenstein developer MachineGames. With fun gameplay and a focus on filmic authenticity, indie adventure is globe-trotting epic worth of sitting alongside of the original trilogy beloved films. And I really recommend you to play this game. Thank you. Bye.